What's good, car family? Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? I hope well. Um, been a lot of nostalgia going around on some of our pages the past couple weeks, really since the YouTube Hall of Fame thing started, and on our in our Facebook groups, a lot of guys been kind of reminiscing and talking about the way things were. So I thought today I would do a video and sort of celebrate my good friend Antonio Collazo and my experience with him. Because when you think about it, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in the past that, and a lot of people don't even know about. And not that we are OGs in the community, but we go back. And so, yeah, I just wanted to highlight it and speak to my experience a little bit. So I started on YouTube in 2017. Early 2017, and it was slow go, like a slow process when I first started, kind of getting embedded into the community and getting to know people. So when you have individuals that you do get to know, it was a big deal, and there was a lot of people in the community that I really looked up to them and appreciated their channels. And man, you're just trying to get recognized back then. It was so much different than it is now. But anyhow, one of the first people that I connected with was Antonio Collazo. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. I'm sure everybody knows him. Now he goes by the Collazo Effect. And Antonio was, he was a Peyton Manning collector back then, just like he is now. Andrew Luck. He was working on it. Insanely nasty Ezekiel Elliott collection. Zeke was super hot after the 2016 season, Dak and Zeke, but Zeke was blowing up big time. His cards were big money at the time, and Antonio had this nasty Zeke collection, was constantly showing Zeke cards, and the two of us kind of started watching each other's channels and getting to know each other, commenting on each other's channels, started making fun videos, working off of one another, which was kind of fun. And our relationship just kind of grew. And Antonio was he was like this brother, we just immediately bonded, it's just super cool. Chatting back and forth, ended up exchanging phone numbers, text each other, here and there. And it kind of led to care packages. And it almost got to a point where we were trying to one up each other with our care packages. Although I don't think we ever did. I don't think anything I ever sent Antonio would rival what I'm about to show. I went through and you can't imagine the stuff he sent me. I didn't send him that level of stuff. So I'm going to show everything that he has sent me in various care packages over the years. I went through my channel and I took a look at all my videos that were Antonio Collazo care packages, and I pulled all those cards out and put them together. And I will say he did send me some smaller cards that I might not have represented here. There might be some decent cards that I don't show here, but these are some of the bigger ones, some of the bangers that he sent me. Really just incredible when you break it down and look at them card by card. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and give you a show, and I'll link each video in the description too if you want to go back and watch any of those original videos and see the original reaction. You got to remember, as you look at these cards, how the hobby has changed, so a Zeke card right now might not carry, honestly, as much value as it did back then. But man, some of this stuff were big deal cards at the time, and some of them are bigger deal cards now than they were at that time. So anyhow, turn the camera around and give you a look. So one of the first things Antonio sent me was this star, and I still have it. And I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I lay it down. 2017 Most Valuable Collector. When I first started, I was Big D for Life breaks. So Antonio sent me that star, which was super cool. And he sent me a Cowboys lighter. Never put any fuel in it. I don't use it to light anything. It's just something I keep around. And in that package, he sent one card. And this one, I'll never forget getting this one. Completely blew me away. This is a 2016 Donruss Optic Gem Mint 9.5 Ezekiel Elliott. Of course, this is a rookie, and it's the blue and green variation. Little jersey piece. Blown away when he sent this card, right? Like, this was like the first huge card or big card anyone ever just gave to me, right? It's probably one of my first graded cards, too. So as we got to know each other as collectors, Antonio hit my Tony Dorsett PC. See, he sent me a PSA 7 and 1980 Topps Tony Dorsett. And he sent this next card. And this next card was not graded when he sent it, but it did come with paperwork authentication. And I eventually sent this card to SGC to get it authenticated. 1982 Topps Tony Dorsett in action with this beautiful auto. And this was actually my first Tony Dorsett autograph. And again, he sent me this card raw with a PSA paper authentication. So I knew it was real, but I wanted to get it slabbed. So I sent this off SGC. Man, I forget who was doing the SGC submissions back then. But I sent this one out and got it back authentic. Really one of my favorite cards in my collection right there. Then I started working on the Emmett counter, which is really not something that has always been there. The Emmett counter was born between me, Bronx Bombers, and Dustin Abraham. So Mike Newman and Dustin Abraham kind of started doing the counter things together. And I started the Emmett. So Antonio got wind of that and sent me some badass cards. What is this? SPX. So this is a 2002 SPX. And this is game used. And she's dirty. Right? You see the staining on the jersey piece there. It's got this cool star thing in there. Winning materials. You know, Antonio is very well known for his jersey collection for his Peyton Mannings. He included this in that same care package. This is a 2015 Clear Vision framed fabrics. And this is another one of my most favorite cards. And when I flipped this one over the first time and saw it, I was completely blown away. This is 92 out of 99, Emmitt Smith. Again, game used, game worn material. Just a gorgeous card. So unique. Huge piece in there. Just a really, really cool card for Antonio to pick up and send to me, right? And then he topped off that care package with a true banger. Another Beckett authentic. And as you can see, it's the 90 Topps traded Emmitt Smith. And of course, Antonio would send a 9.5. So I have this card raw, but this is my graded version of it, and just a beautiful, beautiful, iconic Emmitt Smith card, and so cool to have this in a 9.5. This next one, it's not a big, huge banger, but this is game used at a 250. Tony Dorsett Performers out of Gridiron Gear. Then he sent me a package of nothing but Emmets. Hit the counter on a bunch of Emmets, which I'm not going to show, but I will show the two jersey pieces that he sent that both hit the counter, of course, and they're both game used. Little Fleer Ultra Touchdown Kings. Little game used piece. And a Fleer Ultra League Leaders piece. And all of these hit the counter back in the day, right? And then last but not least, Antonio had this custom box for his Zeke collection, and he sent it to me, which I now keep my magged Dak and Zeke's in it. Super cool box. I don't have enough Zeke's to keep in the box. Maybe one day I will. See what happens with Elliott. So this box was just an incredible pickup. And then along with the box, he sent this 2016 Panini encased. This is a Zeke rookie, of course. And I'm not going to take all these cards out of their bags and stuff. Look at that. Out of 49. Just a beautiful card, and I love encased. Kind of gives you an idea, right, of what this community is about, man. Like, so much of my collection has come from other tubers, man, and guys like Collazo, and Collazo is just one of them. Collazo is just one collector that has sent me a lot of stuff. There's been others, but just super incredible. And really, to me, is what this community is about. The friendships, not even the cards he sent me, but the friendships we've created over the years. The creativity that we've created and worked off of with one another over the years. We've entertained each other. It's really been incredible. And one other thing I wanted to say about Antonio, kind of one of the things that bonded the two of us was our love and admiration for Ricky Russo. When Antonio and I were kind of coming up in the community and building our name in the community, we both like really, really looked up to Ricky Russo. And I'll never forget, like, when Ricky would send us a care package or he would mention our names in his videos, like me and Antonio would hit each other up and like, man, Ricky said my name. He said my name in one of his videos. Or so it was really cool, like that process of becoming part of that community, becoming a member of the community. And like, you know, there's something that came with that, at least then. You know, there was a responsibility that came with that, you know, of upholding like the community and kind of the values for what we all stood and how we all treated one another and respected one another. And a lot of that came along with Ricky Russo, to be honest. I don't know how to explain it, but that was definitely a cool, unique bond between me and Collazo and kind of foundation of our friendship. So Antonio, man, it's been, what are we talking about, 6 years now of collecting together and knowing each other and sharing collections, and just really appreciate you, man. This community is still great and still has a lot of great people in it. So appreciate y'all watching. Keep it real. I'm out. Wanted to throw this in before I moved along. Antonio Collazo 101 that he sent me. Got the note back there. And I wanted to throw in also that Antonio Collazo was the original Antonio one-touch Collazo. So Collazo was like the original, and I'm sure other people did it before him, but we called it, we're gonna Collazo this card. And it's when you got a card in a one touch and you take the top off to show the shine on the card. That was an Antonio Collazo original. Antonio One Touch Collazo.